in our daily absurd, I can't believe the world that we live in at this moment in time story. In New York City, they have canceled daddy-daughter dance because it is not inclusive enough. This is a real story. This is a real story. I can't even make it up. They have canceled daddy-daughter dance because it is not gender inclusive enough in the city of New York. Now, here's the deal. I don't know when we got to an era in American life where everything has to be fucking inclusive. Why does, if you're daddy-daughter dance and you don't want to go, just deal with it. And frankly, if you've got two lesbians as mothers, then send one of the lesbians as the daddy. I don't think there are that many people that are going to complain, right? Who is complaining about this? If your dad doesn't live at home, go with your grandpa. If your grandpa doesn't live at home, go with your uncle. If there's absolutely no male in your life at all, then maybe just don't go to the daddy-daughter dance. I don't know why we have reached this era where if something doesn't immediately make you happy, then other people can't do it. Again, this is one of those things that I think is instructive. Why do all the people who want to go to daddy-daughter dances, and by the way, I don't have a daughter, but I bet she'd want to go to daddy-daughter dance with me if I did. Because you know what? I'm an incredible dancer. Let's just be honest. I'm an incredible dancer, and I'm a spectacular dad. So if I had a daughter, I think she'd want me to go to daddy-daughter dance. It's also possible that she would hate me because she would consider me to be a total embarrassment. But regardless, I would go to the daddy-daughter dance if my daughter wanted to go. And if I were in a school where my daughter wanted to go to the daddy-daughter dance, and they canceled it because the concept of the daddy-daughter dance is not inclusive enough, I would lose my mind. I would step back and say, where are we going as a society when positive things for children are not allowed to occur because a tiny minority of people are fucking losers and have to complain about everything? See, this country has gone insane when we spend all this time bending over backwards to try to avoid offending people who have absolutely no business in dictating the direction of the country. Moreover, when you bend over backwards to avoid offending people, what you actually end up doing is telling the majority of people who have no issue with this that their opinion doesn't matter at all. So if this tiny minority of people that is offended by the daddy-daughter dance gets their opinion to invalidate the daddy-daughter dance for everybody else, what about all these other people that want to go? What you are telling them is that their opinion doesn't matter. And guess what? We live in a democracy. And in a democracy, majority rule should govern. And if the majority wants to do something, and it isn't harming anybody, guess what? I'm of the opinion the majority should be able to do it. Evidently, that makes me a crazy man in today's current society. If you are doing something, and I have said this many times before, when I was in constitutional law class, my constitutional law class teacher, Rebecca Brown, said, courts are important because a democracy is two wolves and a sheep deciding what's for dinner. If you're a numbskull, that means the wolves would eat the sheep. 2-1, they vote against the sheep. That would not be ideal. So if you are violating the law, the courts exist to protect the rights of a minority in any kind of situation. But I refuse to understand or comprehend how having a daddy-daughter day dance violates the United States Constitution. And if it does, then, my God, we have got some idiots actually implementing and reviewing and assessing United States law as it pertains to daddy-daughter day dances. I'm telling you right now, I'm trying my best to make the world a better place, but when I see stories like these, they absolutely drive me insane. That's the Woke Report. I am Clay Travis.